What is going on, everyone? My name is Jason, and this is the new iPhone SE. Okay, so Apple just wrapped their spring 2022 keynote event, introducing a variety of different products and services, one of them being the newly refreshed iPhone SE. The iPhone SE has and continues to serve as the budget iPhone, and I say that contextually in relation to the generally high prices of the regular iPhones. And full transparency, I was a fan of the 2020 iPhone SE. It was essentially a Frankenstein iPhone 8 with an upgraded processor and camera, and it was pretty good value. But now that the refresh to this phone is officially out, honestly, I'm disappointed, and I'm gonna go over 3 reasons why, in my opinion, I believe the new iPhone SE is pretty awful. Now, before we get into the review, in case you're new here, I'm Jason. I would really appreciate it if you take a quick second to press that thumbs up button. It really does help out solo creators like myself get a little bit more traction on their videos, so please help a brother out. And in case you're a tech junkie like me, I make a video like this every single week, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with all the reviews. Now, before I get into my little rant here, do me a favor and let me know what you guys think about the new iPhone SE. Do you think it's a hit? Or do you agree with me and think it's a disappointment? Curious to get your thoughts, let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below. Okay, the first reason why the new iPhone SE is awful is because of its undeniably dated design. Look, I'm a self-admitted moderate Apple fanboy, and even I've grown quite used to the iterative design updates that the company is known for, but the fact that the iPhone SE is still using a form factor that was essentially debuted with the 2014 iPhone 6, to say that the design is dated is an understatement to say the least. It has the massive forehead and chin flanking the top and bottom, a tiny 4.7-inch display, and even though it has supposedly stronger glass in the front and back, it's still a tired design language that, in my opinion, really hampers the user experience. My major issue with the previous iPhone SE was its screen size. I'm not even one of those people who agrees with the mindset that bigger is always better when it comes to displays. I think my personal affinity towards the iPhone 12 and the 13 mini is testament to that, as both of those phones could be classified as having unusually small screens, but I actually find them to be totally fine from a user experience standpoint. But that's not the case with the iPhone SE. With the screen being so small, things like reading text is harder to do, which is a bummer if you rely on your phone for reading the news like I do. And things like watching videos or playing games just isn't as immersive as I'd like it to be. Now, it's likely that I've become quite spoiled by phones that have much better screen to body ratios, but considering that virtually all phones now have edge-to-edge screens, it makes this issue around the SE's design more jarring, and something that I feel will only get worse over time. Now, that could sound like a minor issue, but it actually leads me to the second reason why I think the iPhone SE is pretty awful, and that's because of its lackluster features. To continue on with the phone's display, not only is it small, it's still using a sub 1080p resolution panel. Now, I've defended this LCD screen when it was on the iPhone XR and the iPhone 11, but Apple did the right thing when it gave the iPhone 12 and 13 more premium displays, and it kinda sucks that the new iPhone SE didn't follow suit because, bro, it's 2022. The new iPhone SE is also using Apple's dated Touch ID system. It's always been a good piece of hardware that works really well, but it does force you to have that big chin, and it may have been too much to ask for Face ID on what's supposed to be a budget device, but it would have been great if Apple implemented their new home button Touch ID system that's used on the iPad Airs. This would have allowed to explore bigger display options. Now, yes, you do get the beastly A15 Bionic on the new iPhone SE, which is pretty insane. And this will allow users to take advantage of more spec-intensive computational photography features like Deep Fusion and Apple's photographic styles. But as far as hardware, you're still rocking the older solo 12 megapixel sensor on the back and the very old 7 megapixel selfie camera on the front. Now, you do get access to 5G support on the iPhone SE, which is good from a future-proofing standpoint. But here's the thing, leveraging 5G on your phone requires a good amount of energy, hence why a lot of phone companies have been beefing up their batteries. And even though this added feature may sound nice, I have some serious concerns around battery performance on the new SE. The battery life on the previous generation was not good, and considering that I don't see any changes in the new SE's dimensions, it's actually lighter in weight, so no indication that a significantly bigger battery is present, and I feel that adding 5G and the more spec-intensive camera features can potentially make this phone a disaster when it comes to battery life. Now, Apple claims the new SE will provide 2 hours more battery life than its predecessor, and honestly, it's been pretty good at being straight up about battery performance the past couple years, so I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. But if it's legit the same 1800 something milliamp hour battery like last time, I can't help but be concerned. And that brings me to the last reason why I think the iPhone SE is awful, and that's because it's just not as good value as it was before. So first, the price went up on the SE from $399 to $429. I know it's only $30, but hear me out on this one. There's something here that really needs to be considered. For one, the base model iPhone SE at that price only comes with 64GB of internal storage. That is critically low for 2022 standards, and you'll almost certainly run out of space quickly if you go that direction. And if you want to upgrade to the 128GB of storage, the price changes to $479. Now, is that still a good price? Yeah, I think it's reasonable. But there are some other options out there that, in my opinion, are way more appealing and arguably better value. Number one, the iPhone 12 mini starts at $599. You still have the 64GB storage problem with that particular configuration, but you get way more phone for not too much more money. Number two, the iPhone 13 mini starts at $699, which I get is quite a bit more than $429, but the base model 13 comes with 128GB of internal storage. And by going with the iPhone 12 or 13 mini, you get a way better form factor and build, fantastic OLED displays that are full screen, you get access to considerably more powerful camera systems, better battery life, Face ID, wireless charging. I mean, I can go on for days talking about how much more you're going to get with these phones compared to what you're going to get with the new iPhone SE. At the end of the day, the SE is a phone that will only make sense for people who are on legacy devices older than the iPhone 8 and are looking to upgrade to a solidly good device on a budget that's going to be quite familiar. I think the other more cynical way of looking at the new SE is that it's a phone that Apple can easily and cost effectively produce, from which they can continually make money on, even though it's essentially just repackaged old goods and features. Now, I'm still gonna get one to check out, so keep an eye out for the full review once I get my hands on it, but let me know what you guys think about the new iPhone SE. Are you as cynical as I am? Or do you think the phone is a home run? Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below. Okay, that's about it for this review. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up if you guys found it useful. Again, I'd really appreciate it. Check out these other reviews if you're looking for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.